My name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 276. Page 276, and today is our lesson number 18. Just turn to it, page 276, problem number 14. Problem number 14, it simply asks us if I plus j is an even integer. The question simply is, number 14, we are told that I and j are integers. They do not say that they are positive integers, but they do tell us that they are integers, they are whole numbers. The question simply is I plus j even? That's all. Let's look at the first statement. The first statement tells us that I is less than 10. Simply knowing that I is less than 10 and knowing nothing at all, or even if we knew anything about j, it still would not have helped us at all, because it's two-way. Simply knowing that I is less than 10 does not answer the question if I plus j is even. This is worthless. Statement 1 does not work. A, D, B, C, E. Since statement 1 does not work by itself, answer cannot be A, it cannot be D. It's got to be either B, C, or E. Let's look at the second statement. The second statement tells us that I equals j. That does help. If I equals j, that implies that I plus j must equal 2 times I or 2 times j. And 2 times any integers. 2 times any integer has to be an even integer. 2 times any integer has to be an even integer. Why? Because if it's 2 times some amount, that means it's divisible by 2. This product is divisible by 2 because it's 2 times j. This product, 2 times I, whatever that result is divisible by 2. And since it's divisible by 2, we can answer the question. Is I plus j even? Again, the point here is not that the answer is affirmative. The point here is not that the answer is yes here. Is I plus j even? The answer is yes, it is even. But that wasn't the point. The point is not that it turns out to be even. The point is we are able to tell whether or not it's even. And here it turns out the answer is yes. Second statement does the job. Therefore the answer is B. For example, if I plus j, if I equals j, if I is 3, then so is j. 3 plus 3 is 2 times 3, and of course 2 times 3 is 6, and of course we can divide 6, which is an even number. It's even number because it's 2 times the amount. If it's 2 times the amount, then it can be divisible by 2, obviously. And if an integer is divisible by 2, I'm explaining too much here. If an integer is divisible by 2, that is the definition of being even number. Let's look at the next problem. This is enough of that. This was too simple. It was too simple. It was too childish. Question number 15. What is the cube root of W? What is the cube root of W? That's the question. The first statement tells us that the fifth root of W equals 64. Okay, now listen, this has to do with exponents. I do not know how much detail I want to go into it. You have to have the working knowledge of how to manipulate exponents. And that's all it is. Actually, what we have to realize here is that if you know a fifth root of a number, or for that matter, any root, if I tell you the 17th root of W is such and such number, or if I tell you that 7th root of that number is such and such number, or if I tell you that the 99th root of such and such number is this much amount, as long as you know any of the information, you can solve for that unknown. And if you can solve for that unknown, you can find out the cube root. This statement by itself does the job. A, D, B, C, E. A, D, B, C, E. Since the first statement by itself works, The answer cannot be B, C or D. The part that I'm about to do is not something you will do in the exam. We're not going to be silly enough to actually waste our precious time during the real exam. But here, just for learning purposes, let's find out what the W is. So we are told that the W raised to the 5th power is 64. W raised to the 5th power is 64. Which implies that W must be 64 raised to 5th power. And we are asked to find the cube root of this guy. We are asked to find the cube root. What is the cube root of W? Cube root of W is going to be cube root of this quantity, 64 raised to 5. But 64 raised to 5 is same as 4 raised to 3rd raised to 5th. Or if you like, it is same as 4 times 3, 4 raised to 3 times 5. And therefore, the cube root of this quantity, the cube root of 4 raised to 3rd is just 4. Therefore, it is just 4 raised to 5th. I should have written this, instead of writing it like this, it'll be easier to see. I should have written this as 4 raised to 5th raised to 3rd. Voila. So here, the cube root of x raised to 3rd is just x. Therefore the cube root of 4 raised to 5th is just 4 raised to 5th. That's the answer. What is the value of what is the cube root of W? The answer is 4 raised to 5th. It's 4 raised to 5th. Now, as I already pointed out before, this was an extra part. The exam does not require us to actually figure it out. Exam just requires us to be able to answer the question whether or not it is possible to solve the cube root of W. The answer is, of course, yes. We can figure out any root of W as long as we know. If we know any given root of a number, we can figure out any other root, obviously. It's just a matter of solving it. Let's look at second statement. So first statement does work. The answer is going to be either A or a D. Let's look at second statement. The second statement tells us that the 15th root equals 4. Well, there you go. 15th root equals 4. The same exact thing. Right here is the 15th root. And of course the 15th root is going to be 4 because 4 raised to 15. So if 15th root, 4 raised to 15 equals 4, I don't mean to put down 4 here, I mean to say W. If the 15th root of W equals 4, then W must equal 4 raised to 15. And therefore, the cube root of that guy, the cube root of this guy is getting too ugly and too crowded. The cube root of this guy is same as the cube root of 4 raised to 5th over 3, raised to 3, which of course is same as 4 raised to 5. Obviously, it's not going to change the answer. The answer is going to be the same as before. I don't know why this line is going all the way wrong. Of course, the answer is not going to change. It's going to be the same as before. What is the cube root of W? The cube root of W is 4 raised to 5th. That's all. And it's because of the fact that we just found that both statement 1 and statement 2 work, the answer is D. That's it. That's all. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.